Welcome to Live Smart. Good morning, all. Who will cry when you die? Part 8. Chapters 71 to 80. 71. Stop condemning. Like the vice of complaining discussed earlier, it is easy to fall into the habit of condemning others, even those we love most. We criticize the way someone eats or the manner in which she speaks. We focus on the most minute details and find fault with the smallest of issues. But what we focus on grows. And if we keep focusing on a small weakness in someone, it will continue to grow in our minds until we perceive it to be a big problem in that person. Would you really want to live in a world where everyone looked, acted and thought exactly as you do? It would be a pretty boring place. To live a happier, more peaceful life, begin to see that the richness of our society comes from its diversity. What makes relationships, communities and countries great are not the things that we have in common but the differences that make us unique. Rather than looking for things to criticize in those around you, why not begin to respect the differences? Often, we perceive in others the weakness we most need to address within ourselves. Stop blaming and condemning. Accept complete responsibility for the way things are and resolve to work and changing yourself before seeking to change others. This is one of the truest measures of a person of strong character. As Erica Jong said, take your life into your hands and what happens? A terrible thing, no one to blame. 72. See your day as your life. The days come and go like muffled and veiled figures sent from a distant, friendly party, but they say nothing, and if we do not use the gifts they bring, they carry them as silently away, observed Emerson. As you live your days, so you will live your life. It is easy to get caught up in the trap of thinking that this day does not matter much given all the days that lie ahead of you. But a great life is nothing more than a series of great, well-lived days strung together like a beautiful necklace of pearls. Every day counts and contributes to the quality of the end result. The past is gone, the future is but a figment, so this day is really all you can own. Invest it wisely. Your life is not a dress rehearsal. Lost opportunities rarely come again. Today, vow to increase your passion for living and multiply the commitment you will bring to each of the days that will follow this one. Many people think that it takes months and years to change your life. Respectfully, I disagree. You change your life the second you make a decision from the depths of your heart to be a better, more dedicated human being. What takes the months and years are the efforts you must apply to maintain that decision. And the best life change decision you will ever make is the one to live every moment of your days to the fullest. As golf legend Ben Hogan said, as you walk down the fairway of life, you must smell the roses, for you only get to play one round. 73. Create a mastermind alliance. In his brilliant book, Think and Grow Rich, Self-Help pioneer Napoleon Hill advises readers to form a mastermind group if they aim to improve the quality of their lives and get what they want. He defines the mastermind alliance in these terms: coordination of knowledge and effort, in a spirit of harmony, between two or more people, for the attainment of a definite purpose. Hill adds, no two minds ever come together in a spirit of harmony without, thereby, creating a third, invisible, intangible force which may be likened to a third mind. Many of the successful people I personally coach or whom I have met at my seminars have told me that one of the single best things they did to help them create both the business and personal lives they wanted was to form their own mastermind alliance. In doing so, they not only developed a personal support network and some great friendships, they tapped into specialized knowledge and accumulated wisdom they ordinarily would never have had access to. To form your own mastermind alliance, Find 3 or 4 people you feel you could learn from and who would get along well with the others of the group. The alliance is all about mutual benefits, so you must be able to give as much as you expect to receive. Approach your prospective members and arrange to start meeting once a week. Early morning meetings are the best as they force each member to show his commitment to the group. With the advances in technology, you no longer have to meet in person altogether. This will be important to do every so often. Telephone conference calls, electronic communication, and even faxes will work. At the appointed time, discuss the challenges you are facing and ask for the group's input. Discuss the success principles and life lessons that have proved their effectiveness time and time again, along with ways to live with greater balance, fulfillment, and inner peace. A mastermind alliance will not only cut your learning curve in the game of life, it will help you have much more fun playing it. 74. Create a daily code of conduct. It is easy to live your life like a leaf in the fall wind, moving in whatever direction the wind blows that day. To create a great life, you must live more intentionally, deliberately, and passionately so that you live on your own terms rather than on someone else's. The real challenge is that with so much to do, it is easy to allow life to act on you and watch the days quickly slip into weeks, then into months, and finally into years. But I have a solution. In my own life, I have created what I call my daily code of conduct. It is simple 3 paragraphs containing the values, virtues, and woes I have determined through much reflection that I need to live by in order for my life to be a fulfilling one. For example, part of the first paragraph states, over the next 24 hours I vow to appreciate this day, as it is all I really have, and to use every minute wisely and fully. So much can be done over the next 24 hours to advance my life's agenda and complete my legacy. I will, through this day, remember that this day could be my last and that no great person ever died with their music still within them. My code then outlines my dearest values and woes as they relate to my family, my community, and myself. Reading my daily code of conduct at the very beginning of the day, during the base camp period I described in an earlier lesson, reminds me of the things that matter most in my life and reconnect me to my highest priorities that are so easily forgotten in the blur of daily events. After reading my code, I feel energized, committed, and ready to go out into the world with a renewed sense of purpose and focus. Creating your own daily code of conduct will do the same for you. 75. Imagine a richer reality. Albert Camus once wrote, "In the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer." We really don't discover how powerful and resilient we are until we face some adversity that fills our minds with stress and our hearts with pain. Then we realize that we all have within us the courage and the capacity to handle even the greatest curves life may throw our way. Many of the men and women who attended my leadership seminars come to me after the session and reveal the challenges they face in their lives. Some speak of difficulties they have motivating their employees in these uncertain times. Others speak of inner longings and the need to find a greater sense of meaning and fulfillment through their work. And still others ask me for advice on how to restore balance within their personal lives. My response always begins with the same lesson. To improve your life, you must first improve your thinking. Or as the old saying goes, we see the world, not as it is but as we are. Our great human endowment is the ability to reframe and reinterpret a difficult circumstance in a more enlightened and empowering way. Dogs cannot do this. Cats cannot do this. Monkeys cannot do this. This gift belongs only to us and is part of what makes us human. Blaming our circumstances for the way we feel is nothing more than excusing ourselves. In handling any problem, We must have the courage to assume a measure of responsibility for whatever situation we are in and then realize that we also have the capacity to use the setback to our advantage. Life's greatest setbacks always reveal life's biggest blessings. 76. Become the CEO of your life. If it's going to be, it's up to me is a wonderful mantra. I recently read in a newspaper that fully 10% of the population is betting they will win the lottery to finance their retirement. Too many people are leaving the quality of their futures to chance rather than to choice. It reminds me of the habit my brother had as a kid. When he saw that a glass was about to fall off a counter, rather than rushing to save it from falling, he would cover his ears with his hands so he could not hear it smash. He has since grown up and become a Harvard-trained eye doctor, so his unique habit does not appear to have held him back all that much. This anecdote's point of wisdom is simply this: we need to keep our ears and eyes open to the realities of life. If we don't act on life and take action to make things happen, it will act on us and give us results we might not want. This is one of the natural laws that has governed humanity for thousands of years. To become more proactive during the weeks ahead, begin to see yourself as the chief executive officer of your destiny, the CEO of your life. All effective CEOs realize that if it's going to be, it's up to me and act as the catalysts of their own dreams. Similarly, if you want something done, rather than waiting for luck to look your way, take steps to get it done. If there is someone you know could help you solve a problem or seize an opportunity, pick up the phone and call him or her. Remember, you can make excuses or you can make progress, but you cannot do both. When I was practicing law, I would make a 45-minute journey on a commuter train to my officer in a downtown tower. Every day, a man would sit in front of me who I came to see as a model of the become the CEO of your life principle. Instead of sleeping or daydreaming like most of the other people on the train, this man decided to use his 45 minutes to exercise. From the moment he sat down until the moment we arrived at the station, he would do arm stretches, neck rolls, and a series of rigorous exercise to improve his health. Rather than joining the legion of people who complain they don't have enough time to work out, he took matters into his own hands and took charge of opportunity. Sure, he looked a little silly. But who cares what others think when you know that what you are doing is the right thing to do? Seeing yourself as the CEO of your life can create a fundamental shift in the way you perceive your world. Instead of sailing through life as a passenger, you become the captain of the ship, leading things in the direction you choose to move in rather than reacting to the whim of the changing tides. And as you take greater control of your life, reflect on William James's inspiring words: humankind's common instinct for reality has always held the world to be essentially a theater for heroism. 77. Be humble. One of the traits I respect most in people is humility. The tree that has the most fruits is the tree that bends to the ground, my father taught me as I was growing up. And though there are some exceptions, I have found in my own experience that it is true. The person who knows the most, who have achieved the most, and who have lived the most are also the people closest to the ground. In a word, they are humble. There is something special about being in the presence of a person who is humble. Practicing humility shows that you respect others and reminds us that there is so much for us yet to learn. It sends a signal to those around you that you are open to receiving the gift of their knowledge and listening to what they have to say. I have had the privilege of meeting many famous people in my life. One of my biggest thrills was meeting the world champion boxer Muhammad Ali. Contrary to the cocky and loud image he cultivated in the media, in person he was a true gentleman and a very model of humility. When I had the good fortune to meet him in Los Angeles, he asked more questions about me than I asked about him. He spoke softly and radiated a warmth and decency that spoke volumes about the man he is. Muhammad Ali taught me that the more you are as a person, the lesson you need to prove yourself to others. 78. Don't finish every book you start. It is so easy to feel compelled to finish every book you start. A great sense of guilt fills our minds if we do not reach the end of that book we used our hard-earned dollars to buy. But not every book deserves to be read in its entirety. As Francis Bacon said, some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. That is, some books are to be read only in parts, others to be read, but not curiously, and some few books to be read wholly, and with diligence and attraction. I myself was guilty of feeling the need to read every book I picked up from beginning to end. I soon found that not only did my reading pile become unmanageable, but I began to enjoy the pastime of reading less. Once I decided I would be more selective about which books I actually completed, I not only got through more of them, I found I learned more from each one. If you find that after reading the first 3 chapters of a book, you have not gained any worthwhile information or that the book has failed to keep your attention, do yourself a favor, put the book away and make better use of your time, like reading the next book in your pile. 79. Don't be so hard on yourself. It is easy to spend much of your days beating up on yourself for past mistakes. We analyze that relationship that failed and relentlessly review all the things we did wrong. Or we look at that business decision that cost us so much and dwell on the things we could have done right. Once and for all, stop being so hard on yourself. You are a human being and human beings have been designed to make mistakes. As long as you don't keep making the same errors and have the good judgment to let your past serve you, you will be on the right track. Accept them and move on. As Mark Twain wrote, we should be careful to get out of an experience only the wisdom that is in it, and stop there, lest we be like the cat that sits down on a hot stove lid. It will never sit down on a hot stove lid again, and that is well, but also it will never sit down on a cold one anymore. Coming to the realization that we all make mistakes, and that they are essential to our growth and progress is liberating. We lost the need to be perfect and adopt a saner way of viewing our lives. We can begin to flow through life the way a mountain stream flows through a leafy forest, powerfully yet gracefully. We can finally be at peace with our true nature. An excellent way to raise to a higher level of enlightenment and personal wisdom is to make a list of the 10 biggest mistakes you have made in your life on the left-hand side of a page within your journal. Then, on the right-hand side, write down the corresponding lessons you have learned from every mistake and the benefits that actually flowed into your life as a result of those so-called failures. You will soon see that your life would not be as rich and colorful without the mistakes of your past. So be gentler to yourself and see life for what it really is, a path of self-discovery, personal growth and lifelong learning. 80. Make a vow of silence. The Buddhist monks have a favorite strategy to build willpower, one that has been used by many cultures over the years to create enormous amounts of inner strength and resolve. It is the vow of silence. Staying quiet for even short periods of time builds willpower and self-control because you exert force on your will by not giving in to the impulse to talk. So many people talk far more than they have do. Rather than speaking precisely and communicating only what needs to be said, all too often we go on and on. This in itself reveals a lack of discipline. Discipline involves saying exactly what needs to be said and preserving your precious mental energy by not talking more than you have to. Measured, precise speech is also a sign of clear thought and of a serene mind. A strategy that you can apply today to improve your personal discipline is to keep a vow of silence for 1 hour a day over the next 7. Don't speak at all during this silent time. Or if you must, speak only in direct response to a question and offer a clear, crisp answer rather than rattling on about everything from what was on TV last night to where you hope to vacation this summer. The vow of silence can be adopted politely and warmly. The idea is to make you stronger and to enhance your will, not to hinder your relationships. Within a matter of days, you will feel a sense of mastery and strength growing within you. Judge by the results, they will speak for themselves. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.